Well, according to my book here, you guys have got me all paranoid. I'm just gonna sit here like this, just hold my controller, and I'm gonna do nothing else. I'm just gonna not budge. This is it. This is what you're getting now. Are you happy? This is it. The Freudian fondle strikes again. Fuck Freud and his fondle. I mean... oh, God. Damn you, Freud! I blame you for this. Premium quality nut tickles. Oh, God. I'm getting hot now. Oh, God. You simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the scales. Oh, right. Okay, so that's how they'll do it. Now, hold your horses there, coachman. We're all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Nope. Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo. Yes. You see, this game is Matt and Shy's great ace attorney. Also, I pity for Matt tonight. I know. Well, thank you. And here he is, rubbing his head again. If you listen closely, you can hear the bits of Matt's psyche breaking. I think that was actually me gripping the controller so tight the plastic was creaking. But yeah. Oh, this is all very irritating. Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Boom! Same sound, yeah. My psyche is made of plastic, so it would be. For the love of Mike, not you as well. Who's Mike? Who is this Mike? Wait, is Mike the fifth passenger? A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards of financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Hey! No, don't clip it as well! No! No! Does that mean I have to put it in a highlight reel now? It does, doesn't it? Why? Why exactly? Hi, I'm Mike. Pleased to meet you. Aha! So it was Alchemist. Of course I did, because I'm your wife and I can. Well, yes, you can. And yes, you are. And okay, I guess I don't have an argument. Oh. Let's take some water. I've got to replenish all the bloody sweat that I'm now, sweating. What would you call that sweat that I'm sweating? There's another way of saying that. I need to, yeah. Just take your lumps back. Oh, yes, I do, and I will, and yes, I am very used to. Oh, the cold sweats, yes, yes. Yeah, Matt goes fondling the water bottle. Goes, I was drinking from it. Don't you start trying to make this into a thing. You. Oh my god. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. You did it. If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. Oh, we have to get it back to more than halfway then. 2 more. Actually, there is something else bothering me about a couple of their assertions. That's where you must strike. So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show that there's a contradiction in their assertions. Exactly. You can do it. Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they can still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. Minus the fondlings. I'm changing my leaning to innocent. I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say for himself. Cool, okay. No one else in the carriage at the time, so it must have been him. So that one there. Something absolutely brazen. Beppo, this trial has to continue so I can get to the bottom of this corruption. Not guilty, I say. And the scoundrel stabbing a man on the floor beggars belief. So these two are contradicting each other. Because she believed Beppo when he was like, oh yeah, so, I heard the screaming, which the other guys said happened after the first stabbing. And she's like, I stopped the carriage, got out, had a look inside, and the guy was holding the knife like this, and he stabbed him while he was on the floor. But this guy bought the line of, yes, he stabbed him right next to him like that, and, came in from the side. So they're clearly different from each other. Let's pit these two.
Objection.
Those two statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel, post haste. Oh, dearie me, I was only knitting a jumper for my other half. What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? We've heard from more than one witness that they alleged to saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3... What? Can't you see I'm busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Want to test me, do you? Yeah, was like this. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony, quite true. Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it. Yeah, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so. Now don't move. Take a look at these two jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up, and he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. No, they're... Bless my stitches. What a muddle. What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. But why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience? Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. And she's like, no. I can't abide people telling lies. Honk. Will there be a fumbling counter? There will absolutely not be. You think there should, but there should also there should be a coin toss, but it ain't happening again. the scales, I don't believe it. They're even. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Just look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, Dark Jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he sat next to him on the omnibus, and the young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, The autopsy report that says 1 stab wound. Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you. Yeah, but don't, because you're in court. You'll be in here next. Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you. Okay, we might have just got juror number 1 murdered. But that's okay. He's kind of a dick. But they're ready to kill each other now. Granny Shank, yes. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see different moments of the crime? It's out of the question. Because of the autopsy. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman, and the picture as well, because the picture shows the guy in the seat as he was left with the knife in his stomach. So if he fell on the floor afterwards, that meant that then the defendant picked him up and put him back in the seat. Why? I mean, it may be the polite thing to do, but there's no blood on the floor of the carriage either. There would be. So there's several points against this. What is it, you dark jinx? Come on, outlet. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As the foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me the proof. The autopsy said single stab wound, it would be enough. Oh yeah, just that on its own. We can only usually present one piece of evidence. And usually, sometimes in these games, if there are several pieces of evidence that do support it, you just pick one, and then the other one gets dragged in anyway. Like, they go through all of it. So they'll all get automatically rolled in. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two moments from the same crime as proven by the report. Wrong button.
Take that!
Take that! This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what is written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once. Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means the witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright. I concede defeat. We even got him to put the knife away. He's like, whoa. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won. Well, not yet, but we're getting there. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Oh, you got the knife back out. Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. If I said no one deserves me, then I'm like, wow, dude, don't put yourself down. But we had a consensus. I said, shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Oh my god. Look at this guy. That's disturbing. Stop it. No, dude, you're gonna cut your tongue. And then you're gonna know, alright? Got a jet, me and the girlfriend have today off, and we're gonna go to the bookstore. Nice, Alchemist. Have a good day out. Hope you both enjoy it. Thanks for stopping by as always, dude. Much appreciated. Please, tell me he's a barber. No, the man sells knives, but, you know, that doesn't stop him from shaving hairs off of people's heads if they piss him off. Well, in a quite a remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue. Keep fondling, don't let anyone judge you. Thank you for your opinion. And keep Matt in line. Oh, she does. Yeah. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places, and I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. So, Lord Van Zykes, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. Oh, here we go again. I don't know how to describe what they taste like, Erikai. Like, I think slightly, yeah, I was gonna say mild as well. Oh, damn. Dude's pissed off. Having savoured the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zykes. Is it cold in here, or is it just me? As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. So I honoured the deathly silence and listened to the charade. You wanted me to describe it with my hands. No. My hands are firmly in my lap, I'll have you. I'm because my controller is down there. That's where I'm holding my controller. This one. God damn it. It vibrates too. Sorry. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. I think you just called all y'all stupid. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as self-evident truth, it would seem. And why... and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. All the capes come off. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Matt, do you own a joystick? I do. I also own a thrust lever. To go with it, yeah. Witnesses, I trust you've heard the summation examination we have just had to endure. Oh, yes, that I did, sir. Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir, I heard it. You, sir, on the end, the coachman, I believe it's Beppo? Yes, sir, my lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger in your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury, and you will be fed to the fires of justice. So you are advised to bear that in mind, sir. Oh, mio Dio, huh? He's not a local. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. They look a little bit flustered. I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear it, but, well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. He filled us on the fare, he did, and that's when I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGilded stab the man. Everything I said before stands. Oh yes, he stabbed him, he did. I think so, yes. And you're back. Welcome back, Otter. Got some yard work done. Excellent. Making good use of some good weather. It's been nice and sunny here, and I've got a little bit that I need to do to make sure I keep the yard looking as neat and tidy as possible for when I move out. Consul, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom fifth passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's silly little... oh, what? Cousinage. Beppo, explain yourself. I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster. The Guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare? It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty. Guy has a W mustache. Wario! Oh, he done it. He done it then. That's it. I actually own a physical copy of the crossover they did with the series and Professor Layton. Yeah, I've heard about that one. I haven't played it though. I had a Nintendo DS, but I never really played the Phoenix Wright games, or I think I only played one of the Professor Layton games, and that was it. You have been dishonest, Coachman. I'm so sorry. You played the entire crossover, Dapus? Nice. You're a disgrace, Beppo, a disgrace, and your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild. If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. What? 4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently. That's because math is a universal constant. Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton. Yeah, they did a crossover series. It's pretty good, one of the best game crossovers. I mean, I can imagine that it's like, you can imagine the Professor Layton puzzles, because those were detective stories in a sense as well, right? They were kind of a detective-y series where he had to solve the puzzles to move on to the next part of the story. So yeah, they would cross over quite well, I would think. You loved it even though it got a bit repetitive after a while. I found that some of the Layton ones did. Welcome back as well, Nuggy. Did the old lady get booted? No, nobody got booted off the jury, but we did break down their statements and prove that they've been making their assumptions on bad information. So we pitted them against each other. It was pretty good. You enjoyed Layton as well and played them on the DS. I can't remember much of the first one, other than the fact that, yeah, I remember some of the puzzles were a little samey, but still had different solutions. Lots of voices. But yeah, that's right. I thought it was a detective story. So it's like they were going with a Sherlock Holmes and puzzle game combo type thing, right? No, that figures. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination if you please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. Absolutely. Oh god, the jittery eyes are back. I think the highlight of the Layton games are the characters and story. Yeah, definitely. I remember liking the story. It was very good. I only carried 4 passengers that night, but, okay. So there were only 4 passengers on the carriage, but you didn't charge the standard 4 pence fare, is that right? It's impossible to make the last run of the day pay. It was so cold. It was all I could do to stop myself from passing out. He's looking rather shook. But I think he was looking that way anyway, wasn't he? What happens if I just pursue someone who had nothing to do about anything? Hey, Lieutenant Sykes! How's it going? Nice to see you. You're gonna boot out, it's getting late here. No problem, Eric, take care, dude. See you later. You don't go wiggling your hands again or something along those lines. No, like I said, they're firmly down in with my controller. Yeah, they're not, I'm not, yeah. See you later, Eric. Have a good evening. Like Eric, I said, Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney has a great voice acting. Nice. I really wish the first game had voice acting, and I wish this one had a lot as well, because but we only stream for 4 hours at a time, so I can live with that. Right, let's see what happens if we pursue this guy. Excuse me, you seem to be looking a little bit... Mr. First. Oh, how can I help you, sir? That last statement, did it trouble you in some way? Oh, not particularly, sir, no. If anything, he's troubling me with that hat of his. Has he greased his head? Oh dear, sir, I hope my hat's not troubling you, sir. I'm still just an apprentice, you see. Mr. Naruhodo, even the witnesses can see what's going on through your mind. You really must be more careful. Ugh. I wish it were that simple. Last time you were here, you were going to solve the incident with the British lady who set you up. Oh yeah, we've gone through another case after that as well. we figured out that one, and yes, she did shoot him. I don't think we ever figured out exactly why. Like, the motive wasn't clear, if I remember correctly, but then she got hauled off to the British consulate and they were going to send her away and she was going to stand trial somewhere else. Then we got on a boat and sailed to Shanghai, and then we were going to stop at Hong Kong and come to Britain, because Kazuma, the other guy that was with us with the sword, he was coming to Britain to study law. But he died on the boat, and everybody suspected, again, Ryu of having committed the killing. So we met Herlock Sholmes, the detective, and then he kind of helped us solve what happened, you know, by going around the boat, figuring out what had actually happened, and it turned out it was just a horrible accident. He broke his neck after this girl shoved him because she was worried that he was going to tell the crew, or the captain, who she was, because she'd escaped from the Russian ballet and she didn't want to go back. And it all kind of just became a terrible incident. And then they turned themselves over to the authorities in Hong Kong. We came to England, and we've taken Kazuma's place as the person who's going to study law, and now we're on our first case. So there we go, that's what we've done. Where's the partner from last time? Did he get promoted? No, yeah, there you go, he's dead. That's a lot happening. Yeah, he died. He was the victim on the boat on the way over. But we stowed away, so that made us look even more guilty. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. Alright, let's press this guy. So now we've got his sword, if you look over there, and we've got his armband, but not his headband, which would have been much better, I think. Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4? No, I paid 5 pence too, sir. And I just told you I did. That flat fare of 5 pence across the board. It's not something to be proud of. The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identifies was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer you so desperately need is gone, dead and buried. I'd have been happy if it had existed in the first place. The British Swan Lady is a distant memory at this point for me since you're on case 5. Yeah, that's it. You start forgetting what actually happened at the beginning of the game. Remembered hating her. I mean, she was obviously guilty from the minute she showed up. Literally tampering with the evidence. It's like, yes, innocent people don't do that. But we also know that she was... people were trying to hide her presence anyway. There must have been another reason. So he fiddled us on the fair, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. This blood-curdling sight you mention, you mean the murder, I presume? Yes, sir. He's just asleep. A loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror of the eyes of the man the moment after his life is taken. So on this case you got framed again. No, we're defending somebody now. We're defending a guy called Magnus McGilded, and he's like supposedly a philanthropist, but he's also he also loans money out and then gets people who can't pay back to default on their loans, and he claims their houses and makes even more money as a result. So he's a bit sketchy, but he's been accused of murdering a person, stabbing him in a coach that they were riding in. These two guys were riding on top of the coach, on the seats above, but they could see down through a skylight when they say that Magnus stabbed this other guy in the stomach, who was a brickmaker. And there was no one else in the carriage, apparently, so yeah. About to go to the store to buy first a new hat. Or a different head. Oh, let's just cut his hair, because damn. A purple leprechaun, yes. That's exactly who we're defending. He stabbed the guy with his lucky charms. Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I meant, I didn't exactly see the exact moment the gent was stabbed. Yeah, we got that before. Like, it seems this guy, the other one, the banker, saw the stabbing. This guy looked afterwards. Good gracious, really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it. But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. This may turn out to be very significant. I heard the bank gent next to me take a sharp intake of breath, see? That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw that horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating. Aww. I tell you, I saw McGilded stab the man. Everything I said before stands.
Hold it!
Who's the insanely manly and deadly looking guy? Oh, you mean Van Zykes. He's the prosecutor, or the Reaper of the Old Bailey. So he's basically our Edgeworth from the first game. You know, he's the prosecuting attorney who's presenting the case on behalf of the state. So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was standing next to him. That's what I said, what isn't it? It was bothering me before, this was. Just for a brief moment he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only the two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There's been much talk of a fifth passenger, but as yet, zero evidence. Yeah, he's not the baddie, yeah. Then what are we wasting all this time for, eh? The black and white, the man's guilty. Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just now jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. Oh yes, he stabbed him, didn't he? I think so, yes. But damn it, I skipped through. Not long ago the trial very nearly came to an end. Somehow we've managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination, I have to use it and bring some new facts to light. So if you're not careful when you press these witnesses, the danger is the jury will end up believing something unhelpful as they did before. Maybe, but we can't let the fear of that happening again stop us from uncovering important new information. Yes, you're so right. I need to pay careful attention here. I don't want to miss even a flicker of a reaction among the witnesses. Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason. Is she an agent now too, or just a witness again? She's our assistant now, yeah. Alright, so... the next one. Stabbed him. Right, let's press this one. Earlier you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Oh yes, that's right. You said the victim was on the floor and described the assassin holding the knife in an ice-pick grip. I suppose I might have, you know, yes, put the cart before the horse maybe. What's this? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horse when I heard a scream from the seat of the roof deck. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. Then when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. He wouldn't have seen that at all from where he was sitting, though. And the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes. So, in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. I really thought I did, but... when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did I? Oh, he's pissed! Either that or he's very hungry all of a sudden. So this isn't gelling with what he said and he's kind of pissed about it. Yeah, so Sato is adorable. But yeah, I liked Maya as well. She turned out to be such a really good character. Like, through the whole games, they all went really, really good characters. Yeah, leave the cane alone, man. Damn it. I'm gonna break your teeth. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. You didn't really see the exact moment that the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Huh? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer cleverly. He could have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed. I mean, could he have? We don't really know what seats they were sitting at still, but from here he could have. If he was in the back. The coach driver, on the other hand, couldn't, because he can only see the other seats from where he's sitting. Even if he peered beneath that bench, he can only see the other seat, and only part of it, I guess. But from this direction, they could absolutely look down and see where the guy was sat there and the other guy there. So that's the one with the bloodstain look. It's not a candy cane, yes, and this isn't Christmas. You know, we never looked at this either, the catalogue of people that have borrowed money from the defendant. How come I never looked at this before? This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry. Oh dear, do you really think we ought to look inside? Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Oh god, what if he turns out to be in this ledger? Yeah, I wonder. I assure you we will not find Mr. Showham's name inside. Let's see what we do find. Anything on the back, by the way? Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? I'm just wondering if we'll find Mr. Fairplay in here. Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Oh, goodness. What is it? Look at this. Do you see the name here? Ah! Bruce Fairplay! Ha ha ha! Because he's a banker. Right? And this guy's a moneylender. Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar. Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying in this very moment. Oh yes, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here? Borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching. But if he gets this guy convicted, of course, he doesn't have to pay anything back. He's been exposed! Yes. The dirty, rotten scoundrel that he is. It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information. I did not remember the witness's name, because every protagonist in any Ace Attorney game is dumb as rocks. We're supposed to be their intelligence, so God help this kid. So Bruce Fairplay is here. Doesn't seem very fair to me at all. Anything on the other page? No, it's just the same information. Well then. And still, I contest. The murder weapon may have an M on it, but it could also be a W. So, could he have seen the exact moment the crime was committed? If we go with no chance and say, you couldn't have seen it, it might force him to blather on about more to prove his point, and he'll give us extra information. If we do that, he'll cram up, so we've got to push him. The dagger could sell for a good portion of money and then some. Oh yeah, it's a fine looking dagger. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly, unless you spend your entire time peeping through the skylight at the top of an omnibus, that is. I mean, why wouldn't he be looking around? Or better yet, since it was a cold night, why weren't they riding inside if there were only 4 passengers to begin with? Because it was a cold night. Surely they would go in. Those would be the seats to fill first. Peeping? I am a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it clear as a Ballarat day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that, all right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Do you think I'd forget the sight of a blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? That's got added on to the end. Alright, do tell me about the blood-stained hands. Were they gloved by any chance? Please tell me they weren't. Blood-soaked? Well, perhaps soaked is laying it on a little thick, but... Anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. You saw that from the roof, through the skylight. Well, the skylight's reasonably large, so I had a pretty good view. And there was a lamp on the inside of the carriage as well. I'm quite sure of what I saw. The latest banker's statement. Feels like there's something not quite right about it. When you feel something doesn't add up, Mr. Naruhodo, that's when you should have a good look through the court record. No need. I know what I'm doing. Not long ago, the trial very nearly came to an end, blah, blah, blah. Yep, we know this. Cross-examinations. Alright. Going. Blah, 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 blah. Yep. Sue the reasons. We know. Alright. Gotta make it to the end one again, and press with the blood-soaked hands. Present the leather gloves that only has bloodstains on one.
Objection!
Blood-soaked hands, plural. Well, I admit that soaked is laying it on a little bit thick, but... Anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question. Oh yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-coloured stain there, but as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Ah! Oh god! Oh no! Don't do that! Oh, you are really going to break your teeth. This guy's dentist must be earning a fortune from this guy. What are you doing, man? In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Yeah! But, no, that can't be right. All the stabbings happenings. So you're a liar here, then? Oh, she don't like liars. She shanks the liars. Gah! That's right. You were quite clear about it. You said it was both hands. Grrr! He is biting the top of the cane. It'd be like a metal pommel. Would it be a pommel? Is that what you would call it on a cane? I don't know. But yeah, he's biting the top of it. It did not look like he was biting. No, he was chomping on it. It was like gung, 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 like that. Mr. Fairplay, in your last statement, if your last statement was a lie, it calls the entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
Objection!
Oh, damn. It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands, it was only one, but the fact remains the victim's blood was on the accused. No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means that there is a strong possibility this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Grrr! Why I'm a city banker, for pity's sake? My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't, oh god, prevaricate. He's like the guinea pigs, they love to chew everything, yeah. He's claiming to have no reason to lie, but is that really the case? Here we go! This is it! Mr. Naruhodo, If we have evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide in the trial completely. Yeah, he's got a reason to lie. This man is biased against the defendant. Something to show the man has compelling reason to lie in his testimony. I have that. This is all coming together nicely. My lord. Yes, counsel. The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay has a reason to lie in his testimony. Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates the motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court. He owes the guy money. He goes away. He don't have to repay. Oh, no, wrong button.
Take that!
Ah! This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused's extortions. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Watch him say, wait, Bruce Fairplay? That's my brother. I'm Alan Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? Well, no, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. Dude, it's 20 guineas. That's like owing like 10 grand back then. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Oh, it's 20 guineas. It's a lot. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? He appears to be a questionable figure. He does, doesn't he? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant, here to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defence? Order, order, order! Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, Lord. Good job. Thanks. Let me ask you again, and be aware that your answers may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. All right, now let me make the melodrama out of... Let's not make a melodrama out of this. He called him my lard. How rude it is. Yeah, it's like, dude, you know, that's not nice. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch. But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on Mr. McGilded's hands, both of them. And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying. I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think... Yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What? What? Ooh. It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all of you witnesses. This time I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yarsh. Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. There was blood on both hands of the assailants. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no, not until I'd heard the scream. Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else in the carriage, or we would have all seen. We've got to debunk this idea that there was not someone else in the carriage. I'm pretty sure I know, if there was a fifth person in the carriage, how nobody saw them. Well, lo and behold, in truth or of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside the carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witnesses' accounts. Yeah, they aren't very good witnesses, no. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the fact of these cases. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. What the witness really saw. Blood on both hands of the assailants. I suppose you might say I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired. Let's see if we can pick a good one out to contest. Saw the knife and remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them. Didn't see anything yourself until you heard the scream. That remains there can't have been anyone else inside the carriage. I'm just worried that we'll turn the jury back over the other way with this testimony now. Or we would have seen. Let's do this other guy first. Mr. Fairplay didn't see Mr. Mason being stabbed at all. That's a hugely significant change in the facts of the case, and there's something else that's occurred to me whilst listening to the witness's last testimony. Two of them are recounting what they saw through the skylight in the omnibus roof. Now, it's a large window and certainly affords a good view of the inside, but, well, I think perhaps we ought to confirm what they're saying with their own eyes as much as possible. What do you mean? I mean that we can examine the evidence firsthand. The omnibus is here in the courtroom, after all. It's a good idea, and we can consider the witnesses' statements while looking around. What if... maybe we have different options now. With the skylight. You can see inside the carriage through the opening, that's for sure, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. Not good for us. The roof deck of the omnibus. You must have a wonderful view of the streets. People sit all the way up here on bitter nights with the cold air rushing past them. They have to pay money to do so. Can't imagine how it feels. It's all the same we saw earlier. Okay. We can't examine the coachman's seat. Eyes onto it, as Captain Barbossa would say in Pirates of the Caribbean 3. Yes. So we should probably just start pressing them first then, I guess. And I want to press the coachman first. And then we'll start thinking of other ones to do. You didn't see anything? Oh yes, sir. That is to say, no sir, I didn't. Very sorry about what I said before, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was very wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw him stab the man. Wouldn't you agree, sir? I know what you're insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories. Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? And no, sir, I saw nothing at all. Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses, and at the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London's streets, no? See, Ryu, you thought you were going somewhere with that, and then you fell on your arse. I feel like 3 was actually the last Pirates movie you thoroughly enjoyed. The last 2 were pretty bad. I haven't seen... It's called different things in different countries, but the latest one, we hear it's called Salazar's Revenge, but I've heard it called other names as well. Like Dead Men Tell No Tales or something like that. But yeah, that one I haven't seen. I have seen the one with Blackbeard. I've forgotten the name of it now, God. I've seen the 4th one. And it wasn't bad, but could have been a lot better than it was, and it really wasn't. It was okay, not particularly great. Oh, please, you didn't even see that? It was a cold night, you see. It was all I could do to keep from passing out. My hands were fairly frozen solid. Sorry to say, sir. It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights. Beppo! Ah! Damn you, Beppo! Besmirching the good name of the carriage company. Alright, let's just press them all then. Let's see what we can get. 4th one felt kind of empty. Yeah, it did. It lacked the charisma, exactly. It felt like it was relying too much on everything, or the characters that had already been built up to that point, instead of doing something new with them. It felt more like the movie was a caricature of the entire series. No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the court. I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both his hands. He's defiant even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit he might be mistaken about what he saw, but why? Well, maybe because his hands didn't have the gloves on them. Your reasoning is dire. One hand or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accused fingers. Didn't see the exact moment of the stabbing that transpired. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance, as well you know. But for crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it. It was just trying to save us all some time. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? That's not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in the derby, that's all. I was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend that's a sure thing. Wow, this guy has gambling problems. A little guinea or 10, yeah. I'm a banker. No one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. The witness's scruples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness. Is that really how you're supposed to work? Seeing the knife in both attackers' hands with blood. So you definitely saw that too. Blood on both hands. Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGilder's gloves has any signs of blood on it. I say, haven't borrowing money and gambling it away? Damn. Well, I mean, technically, I suppose he gambled his own money, lost it, borrowed money to cover the loss, so that he could gamble again, to then make it all back, pay back the debt, and come out ahead anyway. It's just, damn. Dude needs to get on the program. That's right. The first thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGilder sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves. That's correct, sir, and I saw the blood on both of his bare hands quite clearly. It is true the dark-coloured stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilder's gloved hands. There wasn't blood on his hands. This is puzzling indeed. This must be significant somehow, I'm not sure of it. Well, it means it wasn't him that stabbed. The fact remains there can't have been anyone else in the carriage or we would have seen. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight of the roof of the omnibus. That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter. Which rather begs the question why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Okay, I raised this earlier. But this is when this is going to come in now. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked. That's right. And it's a public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. A name drop. Yes, I had the exact same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. I had no choice but to climb on the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. Well, I can assure you I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence, if there was anyone else in that cabin, I would have noticed. Really? Unequivocal, I would say. Not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? No, they couldn't, because if they were sat at the one at the back, they can see the front bench where the other two were, but they can't see the one below them. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. Bring in the carriage! You were riding this omnibus, just sitting in the corner of the courtroom over here. The witnesses, you witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck, is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there's a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight for you. What? By golly, really? Obviously at this stage we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Very well, we will uphold the prosecution's demand. Oh, we got a diagram now, look. You will identify the area of this cross-section plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting the potential extra passenger could have been situated? Here, of course.
Take that!
Yeah, that's it for sure. They could not see everything. Both rows of seats on the roof face the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight is as I've drawn here. Ah! That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite, the one which the victim and his attacker were sitting in, is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. Grrrr!
Objection!
It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. Take that! I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger whom you allude. Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? No, we really can't. We haven't come up with anybody else yet, have we? There's nothing else that I remember in the court record, anyway. I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witness on the roof deck? Let me, do a sneaky save for no apparent reason, just in case the game crashes. Remember we had that problem with Ace Attorney Trilogy where the game crashed sometimes right after I made the wrong choice quite often. We had to reload. And by then it was too late, we already knew what the wrong choice was, so yeah. We don't really have an inkling at all. There's nobody at all. Apart from the juror who loves the stabby actions. The chances of him being a juror on a murder trial on a murder that he committed is... yeah. It's almost video game-like. Yeah. Let's try anyway. We might have a bluff. I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learnt. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. This could be it. Could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view, it was Mail Strongheart, the Chief Justice. Yeah, okay. It was him. It was the defendant. He was sat there. And the murderer, because the stabbing action that was supposedly witnessed, I believe that's how the stabbing was done. But yeah, Magnus could have been the guy sat in that actual seat. That would be an interesting way to twist this around, right? And that's the thrice fired Mason. That's our victim. But we doubt very much he was sat there because we know the bloodstain was on the other seat. What if it was Barrett van Zykes? But yeah, I like this idea. It was Zykes, of course, yes. He needed the blood. But no, we've had moments like this in previous Ace Attorney games where you have to point out where the, other person was, and it's usually either the defendant or a witness or somebody who was supposed to be somewhere else. You say, no, this person was there. And it's like, wait, but they're the other person. Shouldn't they be here? It's like, no, not really. They would be over here instead. So I'm going to go with this. Let's just see. I'm just postulating here. Because if he had gloves on, whoever the other people saw didn't have gloves on.
Take that!
The music stopped. I'm right. The passenger in the enclosed cabin on the witness that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded. McGilded? What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant. It's playing out just like it does in other Ace Attorney games.
Objection!
Objection! Holy dude, you're gonna set the room on fire like that. Stop it. If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zykes. People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own, but I see that they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded and the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. I don't dispute that. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built. But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claim that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains. The point is, even in the face of irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct. Their testimony does reveal the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary. Order, order, order. What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused. Actually, they said they couldn't see his face because of the hats. When elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and he couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. Tops of their heads were obscured by the roof and I couldn't see the rest of them, though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. God damn you. You call yourself a hatter? The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in the cabin. How can you be sure? Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. Yeah, but he said he sleeps in the cabin. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed to even notice the presence of a true culprit in the cabin in which he travelled. Ah! He's right. If there was another person travelling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. Order! There is clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. Of course it does. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a false statement to the police. But what if there's some reason he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord? Should we ask him to testify or not? Yes. We need him to tell people here what he told us outside, that he sleeps on the carriage. Actually, no, he said that here in the court anyway, didn't he? That was after the case got started. We didn't know anything about the case until we came in. But fuck it, I'm gonna go, yeah, we need it. We need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. So, putting his hand up like a schoolboy. Excuse me, sir. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Dude's been rubbing his head this whole time. Wow. Yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say. Get the man out here already, I say. It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild. We got a majority already. Hearing what the patron of my favourite little park has to say. Oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. You sheep. Very well, the court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. But guys, it's going to have to become clear next time we stream this. Someone give the poor driver a jacket with a heater inside. I think that guy's walking around in his own private ice-cold weather system, because he's even got foggy breath in the court. It's so good. Yeet! Yes, that's it, guys. We're at the end of the stream now. I'm going to have to leave it there for the day, guys.